Okay, just kind of food for thought. Something that I noticed over the weekend that's really convenient about the car is I don't know whether the normal Elantras have these menus, like your oil temperature, your engine temperature, your boost, obviously. Probably not. But those menus are actually really useful, and as well as your tire TPMS. It's really useful to tell whether the car is actually warmed up or not before you go and do any more spirited driving, do anything more intense with the vehicle. So it's nice that those are actually there. So actually, you can actually just read it out and just understand how's the car doing after you've cold started it. So pretty much the procedure that I've been doing really is start the car, it'll be cold, and wait until the revs drop to about 1,000 and just back it out, go for a spin, and don't do anything crazy with the car until the oil gets up to temp. I don't warm it up inside the driveway. The reason why, at least from what I read, is if you're just letting it sit there, you're allowing the gas, a lot of cold gas, to work its way into the oil. It'll kind of naturally do that since gasoline is a really good solvent. And when it does that, it's thinning out your oil because it's going to be diluting it basically. That's not good for the engine because the oil's running a lot thinner than it's supposed to, obviously. It's not terrible for it, but if you're driving the car hard under those conditions, you're running thinner oil basically at that point. Once the car gets up to temperature, it'll start, as I understand it, evaporating off a lot more of that gas that may have invaded the oil, and that's kind of where you want to be. So for me, really, I'll kind of just baby the car around. I'll just drive normally until we hit about 160 oil temperature, which you can see right here, which is really convenient. And at that point, I can do a little more spirited driving at that point. It's really convenient because when you're in N mode, you can actually see your oil temperature and your tire pressure at the exact same time, which is basically all I care about when I'm checking if the car is actually warmed up or not. So, right, so that's super convenient. The other thing is with tire pressure. So I kind of know about where does my tire pressure sit when the car is cold and after I've been driving for a while. So you don't have a tire temperature meter because this isn't a full-on race car where they have those. But you can actually tell tire pressure at least, and you can get a gauge about where your tire temperature is based on that, which is also really convenient. So I know, like for me, at least the dealer set it up so that when they're at temperature, maybe Hyundai set it up, I don't know. When they're at temperature, they're about 37s in the fronts, 34s in the back, which is usually, I think that's how the manual actually says to set it up for normal driving. And I know that right now it's really cold over here in the PNW, so when I boot the car up, if it's sitting in the garage, it's at 33, 31. So it's actually kind of cold outside right now too. It's below 40. So I know it's not even going to hit temp. When I drive around for a little bit, the front tires get to 35 PSI and the rears get to about 34. Probably not helped by the fact that this has additional cooling ducts in the front. That's why the fronts don't get up to temperature as much. So it's nice. It's cool that you can literally read that out on the TPMS. You can tell like how are the tires doing, how much grip do you actually have? Are they actually at temperature basically? That's really cool. You have those two things. You have your oil temp, you have your tire pressure. So you can know, like, is the car ready for, like, launching, for example. If you're going to go for a 0 to 60 pull, you can just watch that, and that'll tell you, are your tires up to temperature, basically, and is the car ready to pull hard, basically, without damaging the engine. So it's just really neat that that's all there. You can even do it in normal mode. I mean, in normal mode, you can get access to your oil temperature. If that's good, your oil temperature will probably heat up faster and get the temperature faster than your tires. Then you can just go over here to your TPMS and just stare at that until that's good, and then have your fun after that, basically. So just thought that's a nicety that's definitely on board. I don't know whether the other Hyundais have even a TPMS, but I haven't bothered looking, but I just thought that was kind of a neat thing to notice.